Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 108 of On the Backs of Gods. I am your DM, Jillian, and we have our players today. Same as always. What's up, boys? It's going to be one of those days already, so emotionally prepare yourselves, I guess. Kyle, Mac, Josh, and Katie. You can stare at the beautiful picture of Keld. And with that, think I'll just jump straight into it. Why not? We'll do a bit of a recap and we'll just get going. Last session, you had defeated a purple worm that took everybody on a physically demanding and emotional journey of pain and anguish, causing people to, first off, be incredibly grievously injured, but also cause some emotional lashing out from multiple people, which led the party splitting for a moment as Roshan removed themselves from the situation and walked back to the cart, while the others stayed to harvest the remains of a flail snail that the purple worm had so generously killed for them. But Roshan at this time began to feel sick and his vision blurred and his fingertips felt hot. And it looked as if the marks on his hands were moving. And he realizes he can see his hands because the gloves had burned completely off. And the shadow that was alongside him apologizes, separates from Roshan, and sort of burns footprints into the ground and a handprint upon a tree, and seems upset that in this moment that they were so proud of Roshan and the things they had done and the bravery they had shown, and to have somebody else say something the shadow didn't agree with about Roshan seemed to upset them deeply, a visceral reaction. But Roshan is able to calm the shadow down, and they both promise to try to continue to do good even though things are not fair. But they walk hand in hand back to the cart. Nana eventually shows up for the first round of apologies. Nana runs in, apologizes to Roshan. Roshan's like, oh, my bad. And they hug, I think. I don't know, there's a lot of apologies that happen. The rest of the party comes back together. And then Fen goes and talks to Roshan and apologizes, but then also says, but I saw Nyx turn into a corrupted monster, so I just kind of want to have that on the table. All right, good luck with that. And gives that info to Roshan, to which is you're traveling. I believe this is when you come across the this grove of sigils hanging from a tree. These are symbols of the guard, to which you all say, fuck these in particular, and set the trees ablaze on accident. You're able to, stop the forest fire. And this is also the same place that Keld and Nyx met their informant, who has been giving out information on the guard, with everything looking as it was with the remains of a broken cart, but a long piece of wood being propped against a tree. While Nyx and Keld started talking to Farah and Fauna, Fen started going on the prowl, looking around the area, and eventually, after feeling vaguely like, oh, everybody else is able to talk to the fucking trees, and he like moves the stick out of the way, and then a note falls out. The note informing you that Gunhild is in the next city over, not Brookcourse, but the one after. And then giving some cryptic information about the cryptic message of eye on the road, stony gaze, to which the party has their opinions about what it may be and who knows. But they prepare physically and emotionally for that. Nyx does more scrying, finds that Egil is, it seems, getting a little fancy outfit for a get-together, bringing with him a lady who may be wearing matching attire. And also Nyx and Roshan take time to discuss her corrupted form. And she talks about it and then openly discloses the ice upon her shoulder, but says to not share that with anyone and that it is slowly growing. Unsure what to do about it at this point in time.
It'll
But
be
with
fine.
that,
Just rub some dirt on it.
yeah, just, hey, what if you just sat near a fire, like, and just warm up a little?
But what if I just burn around it? What do you think?
I wish you
I
wouldn't.
think that'll work.
Yeah.
I'm gonna point out that this whole party has had a whole bunch of dirt rubbed on us, and it has not fixed any of our bullshit.
Not a damn thing. No, I'm afraid
This
not.
one we don't. But with that, you are starting, I believe, your 4th day of travel. Y'all, it's been a long time, and I did one of them horror one shots, and so I got horror on the brain, so I don't know what's going on. But with that, I think we will jump into, unless one of y'all remembers a little better than me, I think it's the next day and we can push forward.
That'd be nice. Does that mean we have a long rest? Or nay?
Note guy, where did we leave off?
What
What was the last thing to happen?
Yeah, this was right after we burnt the effigies to Bosch, and we were about
no
a
long
day
rest.
away from Brookcourse at that time, so just before
Okay.
a long rest.
Okay, you guys are still on the road. Perfect. Thank you,
Good,
notes.
great.
And with that, we will start off with all of you continuing your way on the road, some of you feeling more exhausted than others, affected by the energy of such a place. But you continue on. Is there anything you wanted to do before stopping for the night?
Nana will probably ask Nyx and Keld if she can play a few rounds of their dice game, just to kind of not think about things for a little bit. Just look at the dice, look at the pretty shapes rolling, and watch the numbers go brr.
Yeah, I'm sure they would be happy to play.
Always.
That is easy enough for you guys to be doing. I'm sure Odin's Ruin will be played at later dates. So unless it is a formal sit down, I'm just going to say, she happened.
That's fair.
It occurred. Anything else before getting to a place to bed down?
We're still kind of like in a pretty heavily wooded place, just like there's a road, there's a path heading through the woods, and that's what we're following.
I would say it's not exactly to that extent, but there are large clusters of trees in different areas.
All right.
So it's not like you're in a path in the woods, but there are chunk of tree area.
So being that we have an actual cook with us now, Fenn's gonna try and set some like snare traps and see if he can get like a squirrel or a rabbit or something like that we can have for breakfast. So I'm just gonna set some traps and see if there's anything in them in the morning.
Okay, so that's after you get to where you were staying.
Yeah.
Okay.
She's asking
So-
about before we get to where we're staying.
But
Okay.
but I can note that and have that at the ready.
No, while we're on the road, Fenn's just gonna keep an eye out.
Easy enough. I believe already did a roll for that, so don't you worry. But you all push forward. A couple of you kind of dozing off a bit, feeling unwell. But eventually you arrive at a place where you think you could set up shop. Fenn goes and starts setting out little snare traps to see if he can catch any game. We doing anything at the camp, Bibby?
I think Nana kind of like is just very much withdrawn and just takes some time to talk with Thick Biscuit, groom him, just try and like find some connection and maybe some fuzz therapy with just brushing out that big coat.
Roll animal handling, please.
I'm assuming with exhaustion I have to take disadvantage on that, yeah?
Probably.
Yeah, level
exhaustion,
1.
level 1, yeah. Yeah, that bad boy is disadvantage on ability checks. So, we'll see. Maybe Thick Biscuit won't kick her in the nuts. All right. Worst of the two comes to a 9.
Okay. And just to clarify, because there are now 2 people making these types of rolls, these are not to have negative reactions from your animal friends. These are to see if you can hit a marker on like a skill check to get something out of the friendship.
Got it. Okay.
So
no closer to forming that
yes,
bond.
Thick Biscuit
but-
seems comfortable with you, but
Okay,
the
cool.
bond is, you can see it on the horizon. It's just not currently,
Here.
at peak.
Right. Okay. Fair enough.
Keld is gonna take time. He's gonna cook dinner. He's gonna have a good time. He pulls out the large pot and he starts taking all of his belongings out of it, and starts getting ready to cook. Anything else as the sky begins to darken?
I'd love to go spy on Eagle if he rolls
Yeah,
bad.
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think right before you leave, Roshan wants to approach you and ask, Nix, if you've the energy tonight, would you mind later, perhaps after everyone's gone to sleep, to look in on someone for me?
Sure, we could do that on my watch.
Thank you.
No problem. And just carrying her pot, obviously full of water, to go do this thing.
Okay.
Just going to spy on your boyfriend. Bye.
No.
She's just like, she's got her own people to scry upon,
Yeah,
I could be visiting my parents.
Yeah, we don't know.
I agree to the cookies. Let me find my lad. There we go. I just
He-
want to make
Parents
sure I'm giving
bluebirds?
Eagle the best chance he has to try and
He
succeed.
has a great chance of succeeding. You just roll really bad at it every time.
You know what? Hey, I'm going to be super transparent with you guys. Dude adds a 15 to wisdom saves, and I have failed almost all of them.
Holy shit!
Oh, that's embarrassing.
It's really
It's
sad.
really bad.
It's Bean.
I really hope that he puts up a better fight with his enemies than with, as yet undecided party members.
That's, hey, I'm going to have him roll. Okay.
And he
Not a
gets
good roll.
-5 for, introducing himself to me.
Yeah, -5. All right. You lean forward and you can feel your eyelashes touch the water of the pot. And you go forward and you move up the rapids. And you feel yourself crash upon the rocks. And you are unable, by 1.
Good job, Eagle.
Good job,
did it.
buddy.
Eagle, you did it. He
You
didn't
did
roll
it.
double digits, but hey, what's up? Great. But you are not able to scry on Eagle this night.
That's okay. She's not as mad this time, so she'll just come back.
Yeah, not gone a little less long than normal. Hey, just because your father's not home doesn't mean we can roughhouse. Okay.
While the Greg's
sorry,
away, the cats will play.
That's what it seems to be. But Nix, you eventually make your way back a little sooner than normal. But you rejoin the group. It is easy enough for Roshan, if you would like, to make the bubble. Easy enough to set up camp. And if there's nothing else, I'm ready for whoever's doing first watch.
I'll just do it. I said we
Sure.
were gonna do the thing, so just got the pot all ready.
Yeah. So Roshan, after everyone's asleep, Roshan would ask you to scry on his sister. She is as close to an identical twin as anything. She has...
Make sure you tell her which side she parts her hair on.
Yeah.
She partakes
Accidentally
on the opposite
scries
side
on Roshan.
and has the right. Well, when I last saw her, she had the right side shaven, and she has these same markings. And I don't know how much you've seen of Roshan's markings, but
Not much, I think.
he'll pull off a glove and show you. His hands are covered with the crown of awe, black pitchforks, and he says, "But the last I knew, she only had them around her neck and her torso. But that could be different now."
You don't happen to have anything of hers?
Oh, I'm sure there's something in his inventory that they shared. Probably a leather bracelet or some pieces of jewelry.
Sure.
Any of the things that you offer, she'll just grab it all.
Yeah.
Missionary garment. Okay. I would say this is a kindness. I'll say Roshan is a likeness.
Mhm.
So
And I could
Roshan.
also show a minor illusion of how different she is from me, and it's not much.
Behold. Okay.
Behold, it me, my sister.
Okay.
Kind of weird, but okay.
All right, Nyx, you're going to attempt to scry on Rose.
Yes.
Okay. You lean forward, and your eyelashes press against the water. And you begin to move up through the rapids. And then it is the sensation of being thrown, being pushed away from something at an aggressive force. As if while going upstream, you had not realized you had been slowly moving back with the current and fell off the waterfall. And you're forced back out of the scry. It does not feel like it was success related. You were denied access.
Does it kind of feel like the same kind of kicking out sensation I had when the hand entered into the scry on Dagwood?
Go ahead and roll Arcana for me to see if those are similar things.
She's pretty bad at that. We'll try.
Julian, no.
She'll use her brain.
Please. 16.
Yeah. It was
Wow.
a 17. But that negative.
They are similar. And the thing is, you have experienced being removed from scrying before. Eagle did this before. This fully did not allow you entry at all. There was no chance of scrying on her.
Not very good at magic in general. It's like something's blocking her.
Okay.
Like,
That's not surprising. When I try to communicate with her, it's like she's a pipe organ, an instrument, and not all of the pieces are playing at the right time, and it's garbled and not understandable.
Hmm.
But
Probably
hopefully
the same
we're
thing.
getting closer to her.
Hmm.
Thanks for trying.
Yeah. And I don't think there's anything really else I can do. It's something on where she is. It's the same thing. It's kind of, it's not exactly the same thing that happened to me with Dagwood and the other people I've watched, but it's similar. Something magic, I think. That's
Yeah, if divination is the oldest magic, then
just nods along with these words.
Mm.
Mhm.
then its opposite, protection from it, is nearly just as old. So
Mm.
thank you for trying.
Yeah. If you have another or any other ideas, I'm happy to keep trying. Can only do one more today, I think. But
No, I don't think that it's necessarily safe to. I think the benefactor for Bosch, his name was Mikkel. I think I just don't know enough about him, and if he's as powerful as, well, if he's as powerful as we saw him to be, then it's probably not safe to look in on him.
she's just gonna kind of sit there and ask all of the questions about the people that you guys have met that I know all the information about, and you guys don't have to
Yeah.
tell me in character about Mikkel specifically. I would love for her to know things.
Yeah,
If that's
Gold
okay.
Chin Joe. So if we
Gold,
need
I
to,
know Goldchin Joe now. Cool.
yeah, if we need to refer to him covertly, you know the insider.
Right. I now know Mikkel information / GCJ.
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 Where did he come from and where did he go? We still don't know.
Well, we're gonna send him straight to hell.
Hell yeah!
You're welcome to try.
So-
Get out, Jillian. This is Roshan's bubble.
Oh, I just bonk us in the bubble. Hey, hey guys.
Being that hell is an actual place in this world that's on the same plane as us, I don't know if that's as much of a threat as it normally
We're
would
gonna
be.
get him a boat ticket. Oh, we're gonna tell him to get out of here. He's gonna go to that
Yeah.
island that's
Yeah,
just like right over there.
Stuck there.
Yeah,
It's
we'll
literally right there.
extradite him over there.
Yeah.
Oh, he's gonna be so mad about it.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait, so in this world, do kids say HE single hockey stick?
HE hockey stick. They just
Do they have
Streamlined.
hockey in this world?
Oh,
That
it's
brings
cold
up
as
some
fuck.
Now they
Yeah.
have to.
Scandinavia, yes, they have hockey.
You guys can have hockey.
That's
Enjoy.
and also all of the brutal infighting that happens as a result.
You
Yeah.
guys are
Right.
welcome to form a
Glorious.
hockey team and beat people up and have a good time. But you know, you guys, pick your battles.
Oh, if Fen dies, I'm going to come back as Casey Jones from Ninja Turtles.
Oh gosh.
No.
I'm kind of here for it. A little bit.
Some reason, no enemies attack Fen. Fen's like, hey,
Wait, come on.
hey, come on.
Come on.
Hey, come on, man. Is there anything else? And Nyx, go ahead and give me a perception check with disadvantage.
No.
You'd be so kind.
Oh boy.
That's let's see. What do I add to a 1?
Well, good to know it's a 1.
9? 9.
Still
The
pretty
thing
decent.
is, you're very focused on other stuff. You've already spent at least 10 minutes of your watch doing something else. It's not like that's a big chunk, but that's the moment that the bad guy tiptoes by.
Oh no.
And I was
But
just
nothing-
staring in.
Yeah. Hello. Nothing Nothing seems to stand out to you, Nix. Nothing catches your attention. Is there anything else before we go on to the next?
I don't
Okay.
think so.
Easy enough. Keld is going to get up and do the second watch. So he will get up and he will sit there and he will attempt the occasional small talk. But if you keep like picking the book up and like putting it up like in front of your face, eventually he will stop.
You
I
just
think-
hear him rolling dice by himself.
Yeah, I think after Nyx goes to bed, Roshan is going to get out the puzzle box and frustrate himself for the next 6 hours.
Hey, I forgot about the puzzle box.
Which
Ooh.
one?
Which
Is it
puzzle
the
box?
Loki one or is it the other one?
No, the
I
new
think
Hard to
one.
tell. Oh, the new
Roshan
one.
knows he is incapable
Eh,
of getting
with
the
The
other
Loki
one down.
one, I'm just angry at.
That's fair.
For the record, we have never put either of those in the bag of holding, nor will we ever. Just saying.
I'm sure it's fine.
Also, would Fen know that?
Oh, the party
Anywho.
knows that though.
Do they? Let me see. Where's my note? There it is. Investigation check. Couldn't remember. Couldn't remember what check it was.
At disadvantage is a 15.
Nope. You spend the rest of your night on this puzzle box.
By
ahead
morning,
and
he's
give
got
me-
a fork wedged in, trying to like
Just
open
pry it
up.
open.
Yep.
Ah, go ahead. It's going to be difficult. Go ahead and give me an Arcana check. I'm going to tell you already. This is a high DC.
Well, he's still exhausted, so it's gonna be bad.
Hell yeah.
Actually a 22.
22.
Holy shit.
It's a difficult box.
It's a difficult box.
A
God,
box.
really?
She difficult. Kelda's going to roll with disadvantage. What does he add to his perception checks? Like nothing? Something? I don't remember.
Perception is +1.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay.
Hey.
He keeps an eye out, occasionally like gets up and like steps closer to the edge of the bubble. Sometimes like leans out. Does like a little head swivel and then leans back in. Doesn't seem to notice anything, and eventually his watch passes. Who is third watch?
I'll take the last watch.
Okay. So, Nana, are you taking this watch, or Roshan? You have to. Nobody gets up, and Roshan's like, "Ah, shit."
I mean, Anna can do it.
Do
Sure.
it.
I mean, it's up to you guys. I have no preference.
Anna doesn't mind that. And I guess if Roshan is the only other one who's up at the time, Nana kind of does want to at least refer to the incident back in the underwater tower. Try and maybe see whether or not he's willing to divulge anything about that.
Yes. I had to think back on which fuckery you were talking about.
The red
Um,
on his sleeve.
Yes. Don't
Mhm.
worry, just a bit of blood magic.
Oh, is that all?
So the shadow did it the first time when we went to Loki's tower. And I think it was a release and a gathering of power. And
In what way? I'm not sure I follow.
I'm not sure I know more than that.
All right, that's
It's something that this shadow guided me to do. And then we noticed in the tower, she was carving a spell into the floor for generations. And at that point, it was pretty simple to finish it. I still don't know exactly what it did, but I don't think it was bad. But this time I was able to do it of my own volition.
So, could you tell any difference between what you gained from Loki's tower and Ekaterina's rune?
As best I can tell, a potential energy, something that I can't yet touch, but perhaps one day when I've collected the pieces of the shadow that it lost, I will be able to.
Did I know that the shadow had lost bits of itself? Not sure I was privy to that.
I think Roshan told you about how the shadow led him to the east, because it was missing a part of itself, and
Okay.
because the same part was in the same direction as his sister.
Got it. I follow. All right. So, I suppose in theory then, the more... I don't know, are these gatherings of energy helping the shadow to detect better where these pieces of itself are? Or are they just something being stockpiled for later?
It's hard to tell because I feel like we're heading closer to the missing piece, and growing stronger at the same time. And so I can't tell if it is making me stronger, then it is doing so not very fast, but which makes me believe that perhaps it's stockpiling for something.
Well, if you think that this is energy and magic that is good for you to hold on to, then I suppose whatever I can do to help, you can consider me at your disposal. I just want you to be careful, all right? I can't say I'm much studied on magic, but blood magic is... Well, I won't say it's wrong, but it's old, and it's strong, and it's...
So I think Roshan interrupts you with a hug.
Oh.
And says, Nana, trust me on this one. You don't need to worry about me. At least right this second.
No more than usual?
No more than usual. We've got things in the road to worry about, and
Yes.
this one isn't something that worries me, and I don't want it to worry you.
All right. I won't waste energy on things that won't do us any good to worry on. I appreciate you talking with me about it, though. Thank you.
Thank you for worrying.
What else am I good for? Nana kind of ruffles his hair a little bit.
You can figure out this stupid fucking box.
I doubt it. I can try, but...
No, you've got to keep watch. I'll keep doing it.
All right, then. Very well. Nana will keep watch.
Okay,
And she'll keep
perception
Rosh on
check with
company.
disadvantage.
Yeah, because exhausted still.
And you can't see in the dark. You always have disadvantage.
Oh, yeah, that's also true. Fuck. Fine. Okay, well, that's not the worst. My better one would have been a nat 20, but the worst one is 17.
Okay. You keep an eye and an ear out, and nothing catches your attention. And seems Fen will take the last watch.
And Nana
Go ahead
will
and give me a
tap it before
perception
going to
check,
bed.
Fen.
23.
Nice. Nothing getting past this guy.
I would like to feed Jenny during this time, and I am especially making a point to clean the snow off the top of the dome before it bursts in the morning. That's why I wanted last watch. I failed at this several times. I'm not gonna mess this up again.
Not today.
Bless you.
You're
Nana will
able
not
to get
get
most
woke.
of it off. It's not too difficult. But the morning eventually comes, and you are not bombarded by snow, but you are, hit by the cold entering the space, and just, a few flecks onto the face, but not a pile. Not today. You guys get a
That's
long
nice.
rest, and your levels of
Oh.
exhaustion are gone.
Oh, thank God. Oh, I actually feel rested. Oh, that's better.
So if Keld were to have used whatever their divine sense was at the place where we got exhaustion, would he have found anything?
But he
Because it can
didn't.
sense Hallow and Celestial Fiend or Undead.
But did he use it?
I don't know. I feel
I don't
like he
think-
might have. Not he didn't canonically, but I feel like noticing the feeling he might have.
I'm going to go with that it did not happen at this time.
Okay.
And then I will ask Greg if he feels like it would have happened canonically. But the fact that it was a whole session ago makes me a little iffy to change that. So I will think on it. I'll put it in my thinking basket for later thoughts.
I
But
imagine
for now,
this basket is like the suggestion box that empties into the fire pit.
I'm not going to say 100%. Some of it gets caught like right on the edge, and then I gotta look at it.
Yeah.
Then I gotta look, and I'm like,
Oh, fine.
But most of it straight.
So Keld makes breakfast.
I would like to check my snares, and while I'm doing that, I would like to ask Jenny to lead me to them. And if she can successfully lead me to a snare, she will get an extra thick, juicy grub. Like,
Yum yum.
because she was with me when I set them, and I just want to see. I'll be, Jenny, show me where we set those traps yesterday, and see if she can lead me in the direction of them.
Okay. This is a new thing for Jenny. This is something you could also start working on. But go ahead and give me. Yeah, I'm feeling nice. Just straight animal check.
All right. So 17.
All right, and give me a survival check, please.
Survival check's a 21.
Okay. You're unsure if Jenny accomplished this. She flies around the general area, and you're like, so you have to decide if you think she was successful, because she does not directly go to anything,
Yeah.
but like is on a tree vaguely nearby.
Yeah, I'm not asking her to recognize what a trap is. I'm just trying to I'm trying to train her to recall places that we've been and kind of understand my language a little better. That's what I'm hoping to accomplish with her.
Same description applies.
Okay. I'm not trying to teach her like, hey, Jenny, go check down that corridor and see if there's traps for us. That's not my intention.
No.
Okay.
She seems vaguely in the area, but you're also you do have to kind of push forward on your own. And then she eventually is like, is this doing it?
All right. I will reward her once we get to those places.
100%. She deserves it. She's a queen.
We all stand Jenny.
But you give her snack. You pretty good haul. A few rabbits. There is some thrashing at one of the traps, and there's like a growling sound. And as you approach, you can see something is caught in the trap, and it's not incredibly big. It's not bunny sized, but you see a fox that has gotten itself tangled up. But this fox, it is sunken in the center where its stomach would be. Its tongue black and its eyes sunken, and fur matted in spots. This seems to be corrupted, and continues to gnash and roll and try to get out of this trap, but it's stuck.
Oh.
Cool. I'm just gonna put it out of its misery and put a couple arrows into it.
That's easy enough to do.
Yeah. I'll bring it back and start a separate fire, not the one that Keld is cooking over, and dispose of this,
Our
but I
funeral
want
pyres
show
and our
it.
cooking fires separate.
show it to the party, because I believe a fox is right on borderline of what can successfully be corrupted. I know we said that we had the chicken bombs, but aren't smaller animals
So
less common to corrupt?
the smaller animals, it kind of depends. Most of the time their body is too small to handle things. That's why there's not a lot of corrupted bugs running around.
Or
It's
squirrels.
mostly that bugs 1,000% cannot handle it. It gets to things like birds Jenny's size and chipmunks and squirrels. Those struggle with it, and 99% of the time cannot hold corruption. And their bodies will just go and explode. But I would say, I hate to use this example, but large house cat is starting to be where
No.
going from there can start corrupting to an extent.
No.
And fox is in that category.
Right. Does it,
Terrible.
if I take a minute before I burn it, does it look like it's been prepared for corruption in any sort of way, or does it look like it just died out there and corrupted on its own? Does it look like
Give me a survival check.
sure, it's a natural 20, which makes it a 30.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Now you've gotten to see your fair share of homemade corruption beings. This is not one. This looks like it naturally corrupted over time.
Well, we can tell that the influence of the corruption has spread this far, at least, in nature on its own.
All right. Well, it's good to know, if nothing else.
Nix, anything you can make of this, being as in touch with the land as you are or not? Have you seen animals like this corrupted before?
Yeah,
All right.
pretty normal now.
Okay. Well, the strength of the corruption and the size of the animals able to be corrupted seems to vary to some extent. So, well,
I can tell you I've seen something that's small as a bird.
All right. I'm just gonna burn this fox and hand over our couple of rabbits to Keld to keep safe. I can dress them later if he wants to prepare them for breakfast tomorrow or dinner tonight, whatever.
Yeah. He takes those and seems grateful. And begins packing up all of his things back into the pot. And you guys are ready to hit the road on your last day until you make it to Brookcourse. Who is taking the watch if we are going at our fancy fast speed? One person can do a straight roll or two people can do a disadvantage roll.
I'll
That's going
take
to either be Fen or Nix who will have the best chance for that.
yeah, I'll take a watch. I'll take the watch, Nix, unless you want to help, Nix.
No, if Fen's up there, she's still mad at him for
Mhm.
what he's if Fen's up front, she is not.
Angles.
She'll hang out with Roshan and look at this box that she will never solve.
Cool box.
Cool. Well, Fen got a 12, so
Oh.
Hmm.
Hmm.
Good enough.
Fen's thinking about
Like-
rabbit stew tonight.
Yeah.
Mm.
He's like, and he's like, did a social thing just happen? And I feel like there's a moment where the brain goes whir, and he's like, what can we do with those rabbits? And then it derails instantly. But you all begin to push forward. So what I'm saying, I'm going to make these rules for the box now, which I'm sure, will I regret my choice? Maybe. Each person can attempt the box once in a 24-hour period is what I'm going to go with. So everybody in the party could line up and attempt to bonk it, but you only get once a day is what I'm going to say.
All right.
You can do whatever you
seems
like
fair.
prior to like amp yourself up, but once a day. So currently 2 of you are looking at it. Is there anything you guys wanted to attempt?
I could try it. She's never going to open it with her -1.
I mean,
Well, it was investigation to open.
Mm,
Probably
Right.
still have a -1 to investigation, but
Yeah.
I could help somebody to maybe buff up their chance of perceiving something special about the box. If you
oh
want to
yeah,
try.
you can cast enhance ability if you want.
I could give it a shot if you would like.
Are we gonna
If
brute
you
force
want.
this box today? Let's do
Maybe.
it.
Let's try. Why not? Who wants enhance ability?
My investigation is 7.
Yeah, mine's a -1, so I'm just doing it for fun.
That's fair. That's fair.
I'm gonna roll to see how bad I do.
Yeah,
the
Nix, you
box?
can try while
Go
they're
for it.
talking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hey, it's a 14. She did okay.
You know,
Not
you
bad.
feel pretty good about making like a couple lines that look like go together, and you're like, nailed it.
I've done this. I do these all the time. Look, they're nice lines here.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Look at these lines.
This is what you wanted, right?
Fen's strolling down the road thinking about rabbit stew, and
But you better be in the cart if you're going to keep up with the horse.
Ben's going for his morning jog alongside the horse.
All right, fair enough. If he can keep up.
So if he gets tired, he's welcome back in the cart. I
Yes.
won't micromanage the situation too hard.
Fair enough.
I'll believe in Fen to
I would-
either run
I
alongside
would
or
believe
jump.
Fen could more than like most of the rest of the party.
I believe
Elfie
in him.
boy.
What were you saying, Fen?
he's not gonna mess around with the box until he gets to camp. Like if he's taking a watch, he can mess around with Roshan in the box, but like he's not gonna do it while we're on the road. He's supposed to be focused on his task, but I'm sure Fen believes he's focused on his task.
Yeah,
He believes it in his heart.
that's what really matters. Nix, while you're doing that, and Roshan and Nana are talking, Keld will reach back for the box because he's gonna give it a go too.
Yeah, let him.
I put it in nice
Um,
lines for him.
Um, hey, Josh, would you kindly roll for Keld for me, please?
Sure.
Is he gonna get it? No, but like, hey, he's here for a good time. A
Uh,
good time
Keld-
and a long time.
Held has a +0, so that's 2.
Ah,
Ooh.
He ruined my lines.
yeah, he's like,
Aw.
I can't put it back, and like hands it
Oh,
back
no.
to you.
Aw. Well, that was a good effort.
It's not my thing, I guess.
Yeah, that's
He
all right.
smiles.
Not particularly my thing either. That's why I'm offering to help rather than to try.
Yeah, juice me up.
All right, juice it is. Happily, we have a little bit of fur from a fox from earlier today.
Got this gross ass fur through this man.
And she tried to get a little bit of the least awful fur, the most
onto
well
Rashad's
preserved.
forehead, just like
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine.
suck it up. You're fine. This is magic.
Don't worry
Yeah, rub
about
it in
it.
your eyes a little bit.
I mean, the material component is literally fur or feather from a beast. So I'm assuming fox's cunning requires a bit of fox fur.
I would assume that you have all bits and
Blah, blah, blah.
bobbles. It's
All the
when
bits and bobbles.
components start costing like money. When it says, like a diamond worth da da da. But for flavor, you're always welcome to be like, my piece of fur that I slap us on the forehead. That's fine.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah.
I'll believe you have it.
bonkus. A little bonkus of clip of fox fur. And fox's cunning exudes over Roshan. I'm imagining maybe like a brief little bright orange flare, like the fur of a fox. And then it kind of settles in under his skin. Advantage on intelligence checks.
So he got an 18 investigation this time, which I don't think is enough to open it.
It is not.
But can he roll Arcana again?
You're welcome to roll Arcana again, yes.
Go for it,
Sweet.
bud.
Now a 25 on Arcana.
Ooh.
Okay. Now you and I can have a conversation.
Hell yeah, bud.
You stuck your foot in the
Hey.
door.
Hey. Okay. We'll talk.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
What do you add to investigation?
7.
On your own, you realize in this moment, after holding this in your hands and having an enhancing magic upon you, kind of clears this for you. Without magic assisting you or something assisting you, you know you are incapable of opening this as you are. You need help.
Ha. And
I
that
think
coming
Roshan's
from the
going
guy.
to take the box and throw it as far as he can down the road in front of us.
What?
And then
Fen will pick it up as
The
he jogs
box, you
past.
see a box lands in front of you. Uh-oh.
That's perfect. Great. Are we playing fetch?
if we get one more box that I cannot open definitively,
Hey, you just need a little help.
Well, we can give it another shot tomorrow. I'll be happy to juice you up again if you want.
I don't think that's enough.
What's wrong with the other box?
The other box needs a key.
a
A bullshit key. Magic key.
low key, if you will.
You tried getting rid of the magic on it?
I'm
Do
not
we what?
sure if
On the
that'll
box?
load the box. It seems like something Loki would do.
No, but we could get rid of our cigar burns with Dispel Magic if we wanted to. Just to stick it in that guy's craw.
I mean,
It'll-
you'd probably be able to tell.
I don't think Fen heard that from his jogging position, but if he had, he'd be like, okay, stop everything. We're going to do this right now.
Of course.
You're welcome to have heard it. I'm good either way.
If you want.
No, we're not going to stop. We're going to keep moving. But, so Fen didn't hear it.
Mhm,
Sure.
mhm.
Keep your marks.
Just looks at him. Why
For
would you
now.
give yourself a magic cigar burn? That's really
We did not do that. That was Alavi.
He's a big asshole. But I think they did help us not give him up, which is helpful for everyone, I guess.
Insofar as he didn't find it necessary to send anyone to clean us up afterwards, then yes.
Yeah.
Don't get indebted to a crime lord if you can possibly avoid it, Nix. If there's any word of advice that you take from me on any part of our knowing each other, don't get yourself involved with or indebted to a crime lord, okay?
Doesn't sound like it should really be that hard to not do.
You would think! You would think!
Mm.
I mean, then again, it's happened twice now. Damn it.
All right.
If I had a quarter for every time I was indebted to a
Just thinking
crime
in her
boss.
head how, she's not branded and is getting money from them and help from this person.
Nick's like, I got out of this scot-free. Like, I have no
Yeah.
problem.
Yeah, none whatsoever.
This
She's
worked
welcome
out
to
for
keep her
me.
secrets.
Like, are you sure you didn't purposefully get these?
I mean, we kept them, certainly. My hope is that maybe it'll make things easier for us further down the road, but who knows? Might be our deaths. We'll see.
Well, won't be mine.
No, you haven't got one.
would 2 people give me D100 rolls, please?
I never get to use my D100s. I will do one.
Who's doing our
I'm the
second
dice
one?
maker.
Dice maker.
Yeah,
Sure,
dice
I
maker
can,
for
I
sure.
can do one.
Yeah, you
Dice
know
maker,
D10s
dice
anyways.
maker,
I hate
maker,
D10s.
dice.
I do know my D10s very well.
Oh,
We
yes,
know
you
our
do.
D10s here.
Oh, yeah.
Somehow rolled 100.
Holy shit.
Wow.
I have a 46.
Ha! Wow, dice maker making loaded dice over there.
Yeah.
Specifically, I used dice made by a different dice maker for me, so I
Wow.
didn't do that.
There's a dice maker conspiracy.
Ah.
I'll let her
that's where
know.
it is.
I'll send her a
Oh.
message.
Yeah. Tell her to send some to me.
All right. Thank you, guys. You continue down the road for a bit. Cold day, bit of snow. The snow's let up slightly, which, oh, how nice. As you push forward, a bit of sun shining around the clouds, peeking through, warming faces a bit. Fen, as you are kind of jogging ahead, and you get like a good kind of distance, so you could like stop and like wait for the cart to catch up as you're starting to like, as you look about in the space that you are. And you hear a scream and the snap of a twig coming from the left, in a wooded area.
All right, Fen would hold his hand up for the cart to stop, and no, come here.
Right? Hold tight, everyone. Not all. Scoot up close to Fen, leaving the cart back behind, I suppose.
What did the scream sound like? Did it sound like a human scream, or like an animal?
Sounded humanoid. Yeah.
All right, something off that way. Sounded like a person screaming. Can you?
All right.
Should we?
Let's see what we can.
Do you want to scout it out with me, or I don't want to leave
As
the
you
cart?
both are talking, you then see running full speed towards the clearing where you are, towards the road.
Uh-huh.
A boy probably couldn't be older than 15, running full sprint out of the wood. And you watch it like as he gets into the edge, like his shoulder hits into a tree and he stumbles and pushes himself up with another one. And he yells out, like he looks pale and cold, and he yells out, "Wolf!" And he is sprinting full speed towards your cart. He is just
All right.
running full speed.
I'm gonna
All right.
step when he passes, step behind him so that I'm between him and whatever's chasing him, and Fen will draw his bow.
Nana will square up.
Roshan, there are arrows and my old bow on the cart. Let that boy have them.
Okay.
Because I've got my +1
Yeah.
magic bow that I have, but my old bow that I brought with me from home is on the cart. So, like, he can arm himself with it.
Yeah.
This boy runs towards the cart, no regard for kind of anything else around him, almost like blinders, and like scampers into the cart and sort of falls into it and sort of lands next to you guys. As Fen, you have your arrow ready. Nana, you have kind of wide stance, ready to throw, ready to strike. Both of you give me perception checks.
Okay.
26.
17.
You can see further into the wood. And there's a movement of a large shadow. This is a large wolf, akin to you've seen a dire wolf before. Hey, you saw a corrupted one the other day.
Big as that?
But a large form moves, and it does not make its way closer to the edge of the tree line. It is stopped. And you can see the glint of its eyes, and it's as if you make eye contact.
Let's start backpedaling, not just like a guarded step back towards the cart. Just one step after another, keeping my bow trained on this thing. Nana?
I want to see whether or not I can persuade it to find some easier prey. Give me a moment.
Be careful. I'll watch your back, but how far are we from this thing?
It's probably under 100 feet into the tree line, maybe. As you've pushed farther back now, it's over 100 feet as you've made your way closer to the cart, but it's standing its ground currently.
Yeah, I'm staying close enough to Nana that I can be there, like, and then I can talk to her at a a normal tone without shouting to her. But all right,
Okay.
what do you need to do?
I'm going to try something. We'll see. Nana's going to cast Speak with Animals on herself. And she's going to try to call out to the wolf. I think you'd do better to find some easier prey. I think you could leave, and you could keep your life.
There's a pause. And you watch it shift in the tree line, but it's shifting so that it can see you. It has a clear line to you, Nana, so that you can look into the small glow of eye deep in the woods. There's a low rumble as a response of what people can hear. Who are you then, difficult prey?
A friend of wolves. A friend of hunters of wolves as well, but I prefer not to count myself among them if I have the choice.
Oh, lucky choice. Lucky to have. But we are not friends. Go ahead and give me a persuasion check.
Okay. May I attempt to use my superiority die
If
by
it's for
way
persuasion,
of the,
yeah.
yeah. Sorry, I'm trying to find the exact number that I'd be adding. D8, okay. Oh, come on, buddy. Persuasion. Totals up to a 15.
Okay. Friend and unfriend of wolves. Do you have a name? What do they call you, friend and not friend?
They call me Hemming's daughter.
And the bow?
Vamuscaria.
I admire your stance, your ground you stand. I have no choice. No choice. Remember that. But it does not make its way forward. It starts to move back into the trees.
Could we give you some meat so that you do not leave hungry?
If you were willing to come set it before me in the wood, then by all means, bring meat.
I can do that. But will you bite me?
Will you come alone?
I will, if you will not bite me.
All we have are words.
I will not bring my weapons. I will bring you meat.
Then here I will sit for a moment longer if you are so inclined. It has made its way a bit further into the wood.
All right. Finn, I'm afraid I'm going to need to ask for at least one of those fine rabbits that you caught.
What you're going to feed this thing now?
If it will get him off the child's back, yes.
What guarantee do we have that it'll stay away from? Where did the child come from? Boy, where are you
No,
from?
it doesn't matter. Give us
No.
just a moment before his patience runs out.
All right. Keld, give her the rabbits, please.
You can see that Keld is like turned around and has like a hand on the boy's shoulder and is like just like gripping it tightly. And you can hear now that you've stopped talking to each other, the soft sounds of sobbing as this boy lays in the cart and weeps. But Keld shrugs off the pot and like scooches it so that you can reach in and take whatever you like.
Gonna take out both of those rabbits that were freshly caught and hand them to Nana.
All right. Nana's going to, as she said she would, leave her spears. And she's going to leave her sword and dagger. She'll show the wolf that she's leaving them. Watch me. All right?
I have no thought of anything other than watching you.
All right. Give me 2 minutes.
I'm counting now.
All right. Nana will go. Take the 2 rabbits to where the wolf was.
Okay. You begin to make your way into the wood, and you see that the wolf has taken up residence in a spot maybe 200 feet into the wood. And he sort of motions to you. If anyone steps into the wood behind you, just warning.
Of course. I have these two, a brace of conies for you. Nana will offer up the 2 rabbits and kind of gently toss them close to the wolf's feet.
Nana, you are currently making your way through the wood, and you've presented these, showing that you have what you said you did.
Mm-hmm.
And as you get closer, you can see just like the massive size of this thing, the black fur, and there's like a couple shocks of gray and spots. Maybe it's an older beast. And as it breathes, there's steam that comes from the nose and mouth mixing with the cold air. Brave thing, friend and not friend.
You seem to have many years with you. I hope that this will allow you to live a good while longer, at least a bit.
I don't remember a kind year. And as you stand before this thing, it towers over you, but you can see the details of it. Indeed, a large wolf. That is where we are going to take our break. As Nana stands in front of a wolf 200 feet in the woods by herself, go get a snack and a drink, and we'll see what happens. We'll see you guys in 10 minutes.
Thank you, Ted!
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dice Cult for episode 108 of On the Backs of Gods. We just took our 10-minute break. The party pressing forward, approaching the next town over, heading northwards until a young man, a teen, a tween, really a toss-up. Hard to tell when they're just running and screaming and then curled up in a ball in your cart. Runs out of the woods screaming, wolf, and jumps into your cart. This wolf seems to stop before walking into the clearing casually. And instead of fleeing or attacking, Nana casts Speak with Animals and wishes to try and appease its hunger in some way by bringing it a bit of a snack, which he requested she alone bring to him. And that is where we currently are, is with you standing before this huge, dark wolf, little patches of gray and spots, blue eyes, a little foggy with age, with its nature unclear, but it watches you as you approach. And at about 10-ish feet away, you'd be close enough to, I would say, throw the rabbits, unless you want to get closer.
I think that Nana will get to, I think, maybe 5 feet away, and she'll lay down the rabbits on the ground and then step back respectfully and incline her head. As I promised, here they are. I have no interest in seeing you hurt. I only want for this to sate your hunger and allow you to go on your way.
You don't want to see me hurt. And there's a gnash of teeth. And you watch as it turns its head away a bit. And there's a sharp inhale and smoke. I've become a bit numb to that. It is going to lunge at you, and it is going to attack. It's going to take the chompus.
All right.
The inclination to say chompus during an intense scene is immeasurable. Can't help it.
That's fair.
Can't be stopped. We'll say yeet in the final boss battle. We'll. That's a nat 20, baby.
Yep, that's fine.
1 second.
Goodbye, Nana.
We'll see.
Goodbye.
I'm sure
Goodbye.
she's had worse.
I'm sure. Would have been smart to pull this up during my break. Hey guys, be productive if you have a break, like a little productive. But if you're working for the man, do whatever you want. But if do whatever you want. Don't let me tell you what to do if you're just living your best life. And then okay. Guys, all my dice are. Okay, this intense moment was brought to you by lack of being prepared. There we go. Okay. Nana, you take 25 points of piercing damage as the mouth closes around your arm. And give me a con save as it starts to pull towards itself.
Okay. Well, that's not excellent. That's a 10.
Okay. It is a strange moment as There's a humming in the ears, but you realize it's you screaming.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of blurs out any other sound, kind of droning in this space as this huge mouth closes around your arm and pulls, and its teeth rake across, and about halfway down your arm, the mouth loosens up a bit, like it opens slightly.
Okay.
And as you can see your blood upon its mouth, you are eye to eye with this giant thing. And it runs. It begins to take off full speed.
Away?
Yeah, away. You can take an opportunity attack if you like, but it turns and runs after looking at you.
What can I figure anything out about it from that? That seems patently unlike normal wolf behavior. It's like
you
the
can
fucker
roll.
had my arm in its teeth.
You could roll nature or animal handling, any of that, if you're so inclined. This thing is fully taken off.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to opportunity attack it with my fucking unarmed strike.
I boop its snoot as hard as I can.
I was straight up going to disengage, but no, I'm gonna take a nature check on that. God fucking damn it. No, Nana's just like hurting a lot. That's a nat 1. So no. No, she got nothing.
Yeah, this thing almost took your arm, and maybe it lost its grip. Maybe it thought the arm was bigger. Maybe its jaw moved slightly, but it was not able to take your arm off. And then I suppose not being able to take your arm off, if that was the reasoning, perhaps it ran. You can see it was able to grab one of the rabbits in the turning. So it grabs one.
Fine.
And runs off. Everybody, of course, you can hear Nana fucking screaming in the woods. That, of course, you can hear it.
Nana is going to pick up the other rabbit and in order to I mean, like, basically what she wants to do is cast well, if she's able to cast Pass Without Trace on herself so that the wolf doesn't like side swipe her
come in from the side flank. Yeah, sure. Yeah.
So since I'm assuming she lost concentration on Speak with Animals before, she does Pass Without Trace.
Welcome to roll.
I mean, you had me do a con check earlier, which I assumed
that was regards to that was a different con check. That was in regards to the chompus and your arm.
I see. Okay. Well, I mean, like I'll voluntarily drop Speak with Animals in order to do Pass Without Trace.
That works for me. You cast Pass Without Trace. Once again, everybody can hear Nana screaming, and then it is quiet.
I'm coming back. I'm coming back! She
Fen
shouts.
Uses his action to dash. He uses his bonus action to dash. Fen is fully running towards the tree line at this point.
Don't follow me!
Nana, at this point, you're stealthing, so yelling will not help you. So you have to...
I'm thinking that's just before she makes her way from the clearing where she had the encounter with the wolf.
I still believe Fen would charge in fully. Am I correct? 100%. Okay, so Nana, go ahead and make a stealth check.
Yeah.
Adding 10, and Fen, go ahead and make a perception check to see if you can find Nana.
Good fucking luck! Based on this dice roll, buddy.
I got a 28.
Let's see. Before I add my stealth modifier, it's a 26, which brings me up to a 34, I think. 35.
Cool, but I can
Nana,
follow wolf tracks.
Yeah, Nana,
you'll probably also be able to find, I don't know, blood, maybe. But then again, maybe Pass Without Trace.
Yeah, you find the spot where the altercation happened, but you don't see Nana in this place, and the wolf is no longer here.
She also yelled, "Don't follow me," which makes you maybe think she's doing something else.
So you're alone in the woods. What would you like to do?
Fenn's gonna start tracking this wolf by its tracks.
Okay, Nana, I'm gonna honestly, easy enough. You are like hidden in the shadows. Fen shows up and then continues for into the woods.
What is he supposed to do at this point? Is my question. Like,
No,
don't
I'm
follow me,
trying
but
to-
like, there's a blood splatter and
All right.
after a scream and no wolf anymore.
Nana would like to try and catch up with Fen and grab him, which will be weird considering she's stealthed, but I think that they've had hunts where that has been necessary.
I think your speed is slightly higher than Fen, so you are able to catch him with very speedy. You're not currently stealthing. You're a bit. The shadows are kind of trying to lean into you to help, but currently you are not stealthing. You are running full speed to get to Fen, which you are able to do.
And I will catch him by the arm and what I guess with the hand that's holding the rabbit, because the other one is just limp at her side. And just try and kind of like loop him by the elbow and stop him in place.
By the gods, Nana, what in the world?
Shh! Deal went south. It ran off. Can't
So
tell
we
why.
run off.
Let's retreat. Now.
Okay, let's retreat then. What in the world are you doing out here?
We'll find out, I guess. Come on.
Fen is
Tell him.
fucking mad right now.
Yeah, Nana's
he's-
not feeling great either.
And Fen just grabs Nana by the shoulder on her good side.
Like a.
And he's
Am I
gonna,
able to extend my pass without trace to him after casting?
He's within your space, right? Isn't that how it works?
Yeah. Yeah, radiates from me for the duration. Each creature I choose has that bonus. Yes. Yeah.
all right.
Yep.
Well, I cast Cure Wounds on Nana, and she gets 8 hit points back.
Much better than before. Thank you.
That is spite healing.
That's fair. I deserve it. Come on.
Keld has climbed off of the cart and he's like, hello?
I think once we break from the tree line and get like a good 30 feet towards the cart, then Nana will drop pass without trace. Her arm's fucked up.
Fully gonna go into the woods.
If Kel's getting up, I'm following.
Yeah, but if I
Keld also walk into the woods, kind of like, hello.
if Fen sees Keld, he's not trying to hide from Keld. So
Yeah,
like
no,
he'll
that's fair. That's fine.
he'll rope him into our party and
Yeah.
And then Keld will grab like Nix's arm.
Yeah.
We're going back.
Yeah. Yeah.
all right.
Roshan's just alone
Retreat,
at the
come
cart
on.
with this kid. Like,
Come on.
do you
Let's
like
go.
games?
Yeah.
Good strategy.
This was all a game. Why don't you just tell me what happened out there?
I was going out foraging, and I went farther than I was supposed to. It was my fault that I went out, and it followed me, and I was in a tree, and then I was starting to feel bad, and I had to make a run for it.
Well, everything's okay now. We'll take you back toward home. Is home forward?
Just pointing a direction. From Brookcourse.
We are passing through there today. Why don't you ride with us?
Thank you. Like wipes his nose and is trying to calm down. transparency, I've made myself a little dizzy. This hyperventilating kids got me a little dizzy. All right,
That's fair.
but the rest of you, like everyone goes in the woods and then comes back.
Yep.
So all of you are back at the cart. Like,
Yep.
Keld at this time is also going to put a hand on your shoulder. Roshan, give me some 3rd level healing from Keld, if you'd be so kind.
That's
Would he do that, or would he just use lay on hands?
Yeah, give me lay on hands.
He'll just fill you up. How many hit points are you missing?
Let me math a second. I'm missing 17 from full.
Yeah, he'll give you that, no problemo.
Thank you.
He
very
lays
much.
his hand on the top part of your arm, and there's like a dark green glow, and a bit of a mossy look to it as it begins to just slowly stitch itself back together, but unnoticeably, besides the tatteredness of the sleeve, the injury is gone.
Thank you. That's better.
Yeah.
There was
I will say there's
off.
currently like when you like kind of like scratch your own hand and there's like a white line, it's kind of like that. That's still vaguely visible.
Okay.
So that'll probably fade in a bit, but currently just there is the idea that it happened.
That's fair. Let's get moving. I don't want us to stay any longer than we have to. There was something... I don't know. There was something strange with that wolf.
Nana, we need to have words in a second.
Yeah.
Friend, what's your name?
You see this kid has been doing just
Deep breathing. Deep breathing.
I'm Brent.
Brent. It's good to meet you, Brent. You're from nearby?
I'm from Brookcourse. Your friend said that I could travel with you guys.
You certainly can. Have you ever seen that beast before?
No. I mean, there's, kid stories. You don't go in the woods because there's wolves, and I mean, there's wolves.
There are wolves, and are there stories about that wolf?
I mean, I've heard of big old wolves, that we had our own, that it was our big ghost story,
Does it have a name?
You'd have to ask somebody older in town. Nobody's told me that story in a while. Yeah, maybe they should have.
Seemed as though it was a wolf old enough that your father might have heard a few stories about it.
The old people by the store love to scare kids with stories, so you could probably ask them.
Are you hurt? Have you been bitten?
No, I'm good. I'm just kind of thirsty.
Yeah.
And you were out in the woods doing just foraging?
I was just messing around and looking for stuff and
looking for mushrooms, berries, whatever you could find.
Yeah.
Do you hunt?
I mean, sometimes with my dad, but
You know how to use a bow?
I'm okay.
Do you own one?
I lost mine about a day ago.
A day ago. Okay. Don't lose this one. And I'll give him my old bow.
Can I just get a general vibe check on this little fellow? Does he seem truthful and scared, or
You'd fucking lying to me. Yeah, go ahead and roll insight. Is this little brat telling me a
22.
fucking fib right now? What was it?
22.
Are people, especially, tweens, the most straightforward about why they go out into the woods? Maybe, maybe not. Was he foraging? Perhaps, maybe not.
There
But
were
you don't-
dirty drunks shoved into the hollow of a tree that he knew where they were. God.
Yeah.
It's
The
his
thing
tree,
is,
leave him alone.
You're not getting any nefarious energy from this, but like also this kid isn't going to tell you if he was like off doing shrooms in the woods, like he's not going to tell you that, or if he was going out to like kiss a girl, you don't know.
He doesn't know if you're gonna tell his dad on it.
Don't tell my dad I was doing shrooms and kissing girls. Don't tell him. But that's what you get.
Scouts
That
on.
it's maybe not the most straightforward, but it's nothing nefarious is sticking out to you.
Okay, that's good to know.
Keld is currently going through his pack and has handed over his water skin to the boy, to Brent, who happily takes it, and Keld starts taking out treats and making sure that he is, no longer starving to death.
And if we weren't already, Nana is making sure that we're getting underway.
Oh yeah, you're like, okay, let's go, Thick Biscuit. Thick Biscuit's like, man, a lot of wolves in this bitch recently. I don't like it.
Take this opportunity to reach into the bag of tricks and summon Rufio.
Hey,
Hey,
dire wolf.
Well, we'll see.
More
we'll
wolves.
see.
Oh man, that's a 1. That means it's a weasel.
Oh,
Yeah, he's a weasel
yeah.
again. All right.
That's all right.
There's
Rufio
nothing
the
wrong with
weasel.
weasels.
That'd be
Oh, I
my
know.
favorite.
He can be an emotional support animal
Yeah.
for Brent.
He'll probably like that a lot more than a wolf.
Yeah.
A wolf
In this
pops
case,
out of nowhere. He screams.
Yeah.
Biscuit loses their fucking mind. It's been an
Yeah.
event.
You know what? The weasel has keen hearing and smell, so he has advantage on wisdom perception checks that rely on hearing and smell. So I'm just going to ask him to give a squeak if he smells a big ass wolf anywhere around here as we travel. So
Yeah. Rufio sets up at the front of the cart and seems just like he's looking out. He's sniffing out.
Bows up with his little elbows.
And he's doing the work. This is an animal that actually listens because it's contractually obligated to. So it's gonna do it.
Now see, Jenny, why can't you? No.
Jenny's like, this brown noser. I can't believe the audacity. But the cart pushes forward. Brent seems to calm down, slowly stops shaking after Keld gets like a blanket on him and has him just like fully situated.
Nana makes sure to return the untaken rabbit to Keld. Well, at least we've got one for stew.
why did you bring back the rabbit?
It took one of them and didn't take the other. Don't ask me why.
Maybe it likes to share.
Maybe it likes to share.
Keld kind of half smiles, is like the rabbit
A
in the
nice
pot.
wolf.
Oh, very nice, very charming, very pleasant. Honestly, old enough to know better, I would have hoped, but
I would have hoped too, Nana.
wild animal. I should have known better myself. So, here we are.
Hey team. Keld sort of turns and he sits at an angle where you can see everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I understand that the last couple days it's been hard, and I get that fully. Things are hard. But all we have consistently are the people in this cart and our friend Brent, who is here for this speech and is just gonna have to kind of lean into it. To lean into it, Brent.
Lean into it, Brent. Come on.
Sometimes we do things that aren't the best, and it makes our friends scared. Sometimes you run into the woods to feed a wolf, but you're fine and you're here. And sometimes you jump into the mouth of a giant worm, but you are here So I think we can all, take our cup of sugar and our grain of salt and mix them together a little bit, have a tea. It's a little salty, kind of too sweet, but we have to support each other now. Okay?
That's my cup of tea.
At camp, I'll make more. Oh, in town. Oh, Nick's, we have to go by the shop. And like fully just turns back to Nick's.
That's
Talking about
great.
all the fruit that we're getting.
Oh,
I'm
all the
so
jam.
excited. Ooh, they have the best preserves in Brookcourse. And Brent's like, actually,
They're
they
so
do have
good.
the best preserves.
Oh, it's been so long since I've had good preserves.
But with that, you push forward with a weasel, a weasel looking out.
Sniffing.
At one point, the weasel goes like, and like relaxes a bit, like, okay, all right, all right, as you were. But you all push forward, and then you see about another 4 or 5 hours into travel. You eventually can see a town starting to pop up on the horizon as you approach. This is a small town, and you can also see the gentle curve and shine of a river that runs right next to it. And you can see it, pretty small place, set up right kind of to be like the road passes through it. Like you can't avoid Brookcourse. It's here. Like we've set up around the road. Like
That makes
you
sense.
can't get away from us.
Main Street, also the road out of here.
But you pull up into this town. You can see Brent trying to be helpful and repay, probably in some way, is pointing out things to you.
Cool.
And that's the tavern and inn, the closest building to the river. It's called Flood Risk. You can probably guess why. And the store with the preserves is over there. Yeah, that's what we have going for us. That's about it.
Not bad things.
Do you know how to
How
string
do-
that bow, Brent?
Yeah, and my dad's pretty good. My dad's a pretty good hunter.
Do a lot of folk
Cool.
make their living by hunting in Brookcourse?
Some do. The river is kind of a hot commodity. There are
Naturally.
farms in the area. It's where we get the preserves from. So it's really it's a hodgepodge of things. But everybody takes full advantage of being near the water. And Brent has started to like climb out of the cart. Thanks, guys. I should probably run home.
Absolutely. I'm certain your parents are worried sick about you, but do take care.
He nods to the group. Thank you. And he's just sprints into town. And you guys are currently in Brookcourse. What would you guys like to do? Keld is like kind of wiggling in his seat.
Let's go check out the store. You can get some preserves.
And instantly, we get off the car and start leading.
I think that's a grand idea.
We can talk to the
Let's
old
supply
people.
our chef.
Yeah, you could talk to the old people living at the Nix and Keld. I feel like immediately walk past the old people and go into the store. You can see that there's an old woman and an old man, like both positioned in rocking chairs, just angled slightly towards the door. Like they're flanking the door with these rocking chairs.
Okay.
Nix and Keld enter to the store, which is called store. It is not, there's no fancy flair to it like Flood Risk.
It's the major one in town. Everybody knows what you mean when you say
Everyone
go
knows
to the store.
We know the store.
Only what?
It seems to have supplies for travel and hunting and also foods like jerkies. And there is a wall that is fully preserved in like terracotta situations. And they're all labeled different types of fruits and different types of vegetables. There's herbs that have been dried there. It's just a plethora of things upon this wall. And Keld now currently is honed in on this and is like picking things up and being like, oh, I know what I need, and has started just grabbing different preserves.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
I'm gonna
And I will say for the people, real quick, on the preserves, it says what they are, but also at the top it says Furch Farms as their
farms.
Furch Farms, which I'll say, just because it's been 10,000 years, this would be familiar to everybody besides Keld and Nix, who just know it as the people who make the preserves. This was the farm where Gorbjorn was going to meet somebody. This is the place Olavi told him about.
Oh, interesting.
Not much for you guys, but you do
No.
know that he's heading that way at some point.
He's headed this way behind us, though, right?
Yes, he is currently still behind you guys.
Well, we could always stop by then and leave a message for Gorbjorn when he comes in.
That would
Maybe
be
let
kind.
him know not to mess with the wolf in the woods.
Yeah, that's a good idea. I think outside the store, Roshan goes up to the old man and woman and says, well, I've heard you've been slacking on your duties.
I'm hanging out because I want to talk to the old people too, so I'll be with Roshan.
Like,
But I don't know what I don't know what he's being passive aggressive about. I'm just gonna hang out.
Roshan's got a jovial tone. He's not not truly trying to shake.
fun.
Okay.
He's not actually trying to start shit. He's just shooting the shit.
Yeah, but Fen doesn't read social interactions, so
Well, there you go.
So,
We'll see.
Nana, are you heading in or staying out?
Nana is admittedly really interested to hear what's up with this wolf. She feels like if Kelder Nix have need of some extra help, she can dart in. But she'll kind of hang out with Roshan and Fen by the door for right now.
You guys surround these old people.
Not
Square
aggressively.
up, old man.
No.
none of us are very tall or imposing.
It is a scraggly little group.
We are lithe and svelte, but we are not like towering like Keld's
We're not
inside.
Gorbjorn.
Yeah.
Our tall guys,
Keld.
our tall guys back there and in there. We lost all our tall guys.
Yeah.
But the old man sort of kind of squints and the old lady like straightens up. I don't know you.
Well, it is a pleasure to meet you. My name is Roshan, and I've heard that there's a story that needs telling, and reminding of the youths. We ran into one on the road into town who was running from a giant wolf, who had the unfortunate pleasure of biting my friend, but hurried off into the woods after that. And we heard you might know who this wolf is, or at least have a story or two about him.
I will say during this, both of them have slowly shifted like facial feature, body position into like shock horror gasp sort of things, like eyes wide and kind of bulgy a little bit.
Oh, no.
See, this is the problem. The kids don't listen. The children never listen and they run out. I'm glad Brent's not dead, honestly. And like, she like reaches into her pocket and like slaps something into the old man's hand.
Oh my God! They were running a bet!
I'm glad he's well. Good family. Good people. But I guess if you're willing to listen to an old woman's story, I suppose I could tell it to you.
You have our rapt attention.
Interesting.
That's
yeah.
good. I hope you aren't going to like pull out any like books and focus on those instead. Books are rotting the brains of children. Storytelling, verbal storytelling is the all. This woman's voice gets loud.
Oh my god!
Keld's like, he looks back.
She and
They
Socrates
are
would be
upsetting
good
this
friends.
old woman. As he like picks up like some rosemary and like sniffs it, and he's like, yeah. Puts it into a bag.
I'm probably holding an armful of jars at this point.
I am
Yeah.
so psyched for what he's gonna make with this stuff.
Me too.
He's like, oh, asparagus, and like puts it on.
Ooh.
So now that I have your rapt attention, usually, and she like motions to a spot kind of in front of her, and you can see where the ground actually has like a worn spot in it where it looks like people have maybe over years and years and years have sat.
Nana will sit. She appreciates a good storyteller.
Yeah, Fennel
Sean
Neal.
will too.
The three of you sit down
Just cross
in front,
applesauce.
and
Fenn's gonna be in his kneeling position, like
Oh, yeah, fine.
like if he was taking his meditation. But yeah, crisscross applesauce is good for everybody else.
the old man pulls out a little pan flute
Ooh.
and hits like a low sort of note, just a low extended note, and then a sharp high note. And the old woman leans in, kind of reigning over all of you. Let me tell you, for maybe the first time, and hopefully not the last time, you hear the story of Gammelt Grått, the Soul Eater. Now, Gammelt Grått haunts these woods. He's a shadow, an eater of souls. And when one thrives on the eating of essence, they need not come into towns. They need not look for meat upon the ground, or the running deer, the flying bird, the scampering squirrel. No, what they look for are the lost and the wandering. While in town, the energy overwhelms. The soul eater cannot penetrate a large group of people. It is where we are safest. But if you wander out alone, it can smell you from a mile away, for the town itself is a beacon, a light beacon, and nothing else has its attention. But once something strays too far from town, the soul eater will follow. It will hunt. It is known to play with its meals, to tamper with the soul, to instill fear, to incite emotion, so that it may feast upon something heightened, not a sneak attack from the shadows. What's the fun in that, it thinks. This old thing, I remember seeing it when I was a girl, and yet it was still huge and nightmarish. But it has been a long time since anyone has seen this old monster, this old thing that feasts upon not just the flesh, but the identity, the makeup of people, of children, of adults, of anyone in between. If I were to wander out, it would be the end of me. It cares not, as long as you feel something heightened. This old thing, no one has seen in quite some time. Maybe now Brent and all of you have a lovely story to tell. But sometimes people do go missing. Sometimes there is no body to burn. And it is because an old soul eater, old and gray, lurks in the woods, searching for energy. And this whole time there's been just like a low, sort of occasionally fluctuating sound of the pan flute. And she like nods and like looks over at him. And at the same time, she leans forward and goes, and then he hits like a hard note on the pan flute. And then they both start like laughing, and like the rocking chairs go back and forth. Oh, there's
Wonderful.
your story. Usually the people who sit around are a little younger, but you know, if anyone's willing to listen, they're willing to listen, and that works for us quite fine.
Is there coin in the pelt of this creature?
Oh, you'd probably have to talk to somebody a bit higher on the food chain than me. Not the wealthiest town, but you know, I'm sure somebody would pay for a gigantic wolf pelt, especially if they were worried about it, you know, chewing on neighborhood kids and what have you. What do you think happened to Michael? Michael was the guy who used to like pick up the barrels and he put them on the backs of the carts. Big guy. Do you think? And the man's like, I think he's dead. And then she looks over and she's like, shit. Well, then I guess I think he's alive. And they kind of
Oh
murmur
my
to each other a
God,
bit.
That's great. So, how is it that Gammelt Grått consumes souls? Does he actually injure the person physically, or does he attack them some other way?
Well, I can only assume when whatever decided to make such a beast, whatever God saw fit to grant it life, that giving it such a terrible maw, that it, of course, feasts upon the flesh, and then somehow, I believe, is able to rip the soul from the body. So, you know, 2-course meal, I suppose.
What happens to folk who suffer a bite and do not perish?
Their soul is damned, forever broken, for it has already had a taste of your soul. I believe it is too late for anyone who it has partaken from.
Has it consumed their soul, or will just continue to pursue them until it can find them again?
Well, I suppose if it's a tasty soul, who's to say? Maybe the town is good enough and have the stragglers that leave it, or maybe it's not. Who knows?
Who knows?
I'm going to tip each of them a silver for their dramatic storytelling and for their ambiance.
Really put a lot of effort into their story, and they're like, holy shit, okay.
Oh, yeah.
They both pocket their coins. Well, I'm glad you all enjoyed the show. If you're feeling, you know, an intermission, if you would like snacks inside the store, you could purchase some snacks.
I could certainly do to replenish my stocks. Thank you.
Question for you, old timers. Is there anything this wolf is vulnerable to, aside from the typical arrows, slings, spears?
Well, what I've heard, what my father told me, and what his mother told him before that, when you're so big and so consumed in yourself, what is there to really hurt you?
Well, arrows,
So-
for one.
The guy kind of leans over. I mean, she doesn't fucking know. How am I supposed to know? I don't go out into the woods and tell Gammelt to come fight me mano a mano. I'm not a fucking idiot. I think I'm going to go out into the woods and look for a big wolf and be like, you, me, mano a mano.
Do you know anyone who is enough of an idiot to do that, but has lived to tell the tale?
Well, if Brant is alive, maybe he's seen the beast. And Maybe she looks dead at you, Nana, eyes wide. Maybe you have a story to tell.
Oh, she's an idiot, no doubt about it. But
I certainly do. Yes.
But besides that, people claim all the time that they've seen Gammelt.
I'm looking for anyone who can make a reliable attestation that they have hurt or harmed the beast. And maybe that action saved their life.
Let me say, everyone in this town, and I mean this kindly, everyone in this town is much better with a line and a snare than they are with a half-ton beast running directly at them. People don't come back, and if they do, they say they saw the beast, and I'll tell you, in most stories, they're like, oh shit, and they run, and sometimes they are able to get away, and I don't even believe those stories 90% of the time, because that's a big wolf, isn't it? It's a big wolf. And they're both like nodding.
Very, very large. I can certainly attest to that.
Well, you must know more than us then if you've seen the thing. Lucky for me, I haven't seen it since I was a girl, and it was just eyes in the dark for me, so I got lucky.
That's for the best. I spoke with it. Briefly.
Fuck you. No, you didn't.
All right. If you say so.
Listen here, you little shit. This old woman scoots
Yes.
forward.
I'm listening.
The fucking audacity. Coming over here and being like, ooh, tell us a story about this old wolf. We definitely don't know things about it. We definitely weren't talking to it in the woods. Like, yeah, go fuck yourself.
It's not as though he gave me his entire life story.
Did you ask for it?
In fairness, no. I was just trying to give it some rabbits so that it wouldn't eat Brent.
Souls aren't big enough in rabbits.
Well, it took one of them.
What about weasels?
Well, maybe like a giant weasel.
A dire weasel.
I'll tell you, it's probably like if you were like, trying to get its attention real nice, like, and she like points to your arm, you were more enticing than rabbit.
That makes sense, but why would it bite and then let go and leave?
Who's to say? Maybe your soul is meant to be, savored over time. Or maybe you got lucky. Or maybe it enjoys the hunt. Who's to say?
Well, I would have liked to not have to kill it out of respect for a friend, but if it wants to bring the fight to me, then perhaps you will no longer have a wolf at your doorstep. We'll see.
Well, then our stories are going to not be as interesting, but well,
you don't have to tell the kids that it's dead.
That's true. We could say it's a ghost, and they like look at each other, the ghost of Gammelt, and they get, and they're like, ooh, and they start storyboarding,
Perfect. Good. Yes. Nana is a bit peckish and will take her kind leave of the two older folks and go into the store, check in on Nix and Keld a little and get some food.
Nix and Keld have our faces covered with like jars and
Hell
things
yeah.
stacked atop the jars as they waddle towards the checkout.
Do you want some help with those?
We need eggs, Nana. Eggs.
All right, I'll get some.
I think and he sets it down. Okay.
All right.
We're good. And then he helps Nix like put hers down because he stacked a lot onto Nix.
Oh my god. That makes sense. Nana will, of course, get some eggs as well, and a few other odds and ends.
Yeah, I'll talk money with you guys later, but
Yeah.
thing is, you guys are loaded, so buying food from a store is not going to break the bank. So I can give you numbers later. Keld has bought a large amount of thing, and he's like, and we have that bag where the things just disappear, and like,
It's
so
great.
he grabs a little more than maybe he normally would.
That's
Now
fair.
A
having
lot more.
Oh,
than
boy.
we
Yeah,
normally
they're-
got.
I
Let's
mean,
just
if I
make
could
sure
just
we don't break the bag.
if I can just put it in the void, why wouldn't I get all the rosemary right here? And there's time. What am I gonna do? Like,
I mean, yeah, no, that's true. That's true. We're just going to have to make sure that all of this doesn't total up to however many pounds are left within the bag of holding.
Just keep them in
Jillian will
cart.
say she's been pretty kind about it. As long as you guys don't try to put something gigantic in there, I'm gonna be vaguely chill. I'm
Cool.
gonna be vaguely chill. Two
Alright,
people
alright.
still remain outside. What are Roshan and Fen up to, if anything?
I think Roshan's going to go to Flood Risk and inquire about a couple rooms.
Okay.
And the river runs through town. What's the size of the river? Like a
The road runs through town. The river runs next to town. I think. Did I
Yes.
Yeah.
parse that?
well, what's the size of the river then?
The river, I would say size-wise, if you ran full speed at it and jumped, you couldn't jump across the whole thing. It's not a humongous river.
All right.
This point is a little thin, but it's bigger than jumping with.
So I'll just describe. I know you've played Red Dead Redemption 2. I've got strawberry in my mind for this town. Like that's my visualization.
Not
of
a
this town.
terrible thought.
Okay. Is there anybody fishing at the river?
Oh, yeah, you can see that there's people out fishing.
Yeah, Fenn's gonna cast a couple of lines and try his hand at fishing. And if anybody looks like they're maybe a little wiser about being outdoors, but not just like the sort of people that tell tales outside of a store for tips, maybe he'll approach those people. But if everybody looks like they're just about their business, he won't bother anyone.
Yeah, I will say the energy from the people when you approach is they're all equidistant from each other in the sense of it makes it so that they're each out of each other's periphery.
Okay. So
That they just
they're
aren't
big-
obligated to look at each other.
big don't bother me energy. I appreciate that.
Yeah, they're social distancing for the social aspect.
Yeah.
You're not social at me is the implication.
All right. So Fenn's just gonna try and catch some fish while he's here at the river. And
Okay.
that's all.
Go ahead and give me survival, and I'm going to pop over to
18.
Yeah. Okie dokie. You're able to get some stuff. Nothing like, like astronomical, but you're able to get fish. You could get a couple fish.
Cool.
1 second. Have your notes ever just not been there? Have you ever just not had them?
Or does this inn just not exist?
Is this in the real Soul Eater?
Ah, shit.
It's an out.
Bye, everybody.
This in E is in out E.
Out 2 T's.
Oh wait, it's an in and out.
What the shit? Hey, Nix.
Yeah, you want the guy's name?
Yes, give me his fucking name. Give me his fucking name. It's not in my notes. Why would I give it to you and not put it in my notes?
I think you made it up when you told us. It's Olin.
That makes sense. That sounds like me.
Yeah.
What's this dude's fucking name?
Olin, Ollin.
Thank you. Jesus Christ. And he's elven or halfish? Did I say I want to, I don't want to lie to the people if I already
Half
made
elf.
this. Thank you. All right. Roshan, you walk into the place. It's sort of like the houses are lined up in a way, and then this place is just like it almost was like dragged further back. It is structurally too close to the river. Like this was a poor choice, but here she still stands. You go inside, it's a bit later in the day, it's not night, but there are people in there who are drinking, talking. There's also a bartender, young half-elven man, kind of a mess of hair on top, a bit of an apron. Looks like he does some cooking in the back, but is currently pouring drinks for people.
Sir, could I get a few rooms for the night?
Yeah, one sec. Goes over and fills up a drink for somebody, then comes back over. How many rooms do you need?
How many do you have, and how expensive are they?
The thing is, we've recently had an influx of people coming in because of some issues down south. But we don't have a lot of rooms left. He kind of like leans back and it looks like he's looking at something under the counter. I have 2.
I'll take them, and if somebody else comes into town, let me know, and I'd be willing to give one up.
I appreciate that. 1 gold for the whole setup for the night.
Okay. Yeah, I'll hand that to him. I'll hand him 2.
All right. He smiles. Appreciate it. You came when we were kind of doing a discount on the room prices, trying to help out where we can.
That's kind of you.
But here you go. He hands over 2 keys. If you need a drink, just tell me. We kind of have food. Really kind of a toss-up what you get.
Is there a communal pot that someone might cook at?
I mean, he points over and there's a bit of a hearth where it looks like you could like hook something to and like cook. He's like, currently I have in the back, we have a slightly bigger setup, but we do have, if you're looking for stew, we have stew.
No, I was looking because I travel with a cook, and I think he likes sharing, so.
Well, I suppose we'll have to talk it over.
I'll let him know when he comes in. And then
Sounds good.
Roshan will turn around and head the 50 feet over to the general store and catch up with his party.
Yeah. Who come out with many an item, and Keld like steps like right up to you and starts like putting things into the bag of holding.
Ah, yes, my infinite grocery bag.
Perfect, thank you.
They got
Trader
Summon
Joe's, he
it.
brought his own bag.
They got a communal pot at the end if you want to cook for some people. Sounds like there's some people fleeing the south, and I haven't the heart to tell them that the north is no less dangerous at this point.
Well, he looks over at Nyx. I mean, if Allen wants us to cook, Allen wants us to cook.
Did it for free last time.
Did it for free last time. Why not twice? And Keld starts to make his way towards.
Oh, we got all these new things.
I'm so excited, like as Keld makes his way in, and when he walks inside, you can hear the man from the bar. Keld, Nyx, welcome back.
She'll run up to the counter. We're gonna cook.
Finally,
Well,
honestly,
he won't let me still, but
maybe for the best. Honestly, you guys have spoiled me now. and just, the slop doesn't taste right,
Mm.
Caleb like looks over. You should just keep trying things. Maybe if you just add like a different spice, maybe a little more salt, you could make, who knows?
Hey, how come you just tell him to keep, you just told me to stop.
Oh, he didn't almost kill me. And Caleb goes over and starts setting up by the
Holy
little
shit.
hearth to start cooking.
It was only one time.
One time is enough to almost die, yeah.
Hmm. Nana can't relate.
No.
Oh, because she keeps trying to almost die, I guess.
But you didn't poison your brother. No,
that's
kill.
true.
No. Okay.
Is there anything you guys would like to do? You currently are in town for the night if you are so inclined.
I think Roshan would like to cast Identify on Nana again, just to see if, I don't know, missing soul is a magical condition. Just want to see if everything's still okay.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
Is missing soul a magic condition?
I think Nana is kind of like, sort of just sitting quietly at the table herself, kind of like introspecting, like, do I feel like my soul is missing? Do I feel like I had a chunk of my soul taken out of me? Does this feel weird?
Would I know
would
if
I
I
know
were a
what my
simulation?
But you guys can set up at a table and you can cast Identify if you see fit, Roshan.
Yes.
You pull out your journal and there's nothing new to add.
Okay. Well, that's good. You're probably fine, I think.
So, my question is, I know we're on a bit of a schedule. Are we going to hunt this wolf?
Well, if the stories are anything to go by, maybe it's going to come after us, and it'll save us the hunt. Who knows?
Well, that's fine. I'd rather be prepared for it. Is part of my point, but also, this isn't a thing that just kills people. It takes their souls.
Well, that's if the stories are to be believed.
And
you saw them workshopping there on the porch.
You spoke to the beast. What's your take of it?
I don't know. I rather think that if this really were some kind of magical entity, I may not have been able to speak with it the way that I did. Normally, speak with animals is only permitted to speak with animals. If it were a monster or an intelligent creature of some other sort, I'm not sure it would have worked, but when I did speak with it, it seemed respectful at first, that we held our ground.
And then it bit you. That's what wolves do, though. They're pursuit predators.
He said he had no choice. I had said that I would prefer not to kill a wolf if I had the choice. He said he had none.
So how many will he kill if we leave him in our wake?
But how long will we waste trying to find this wolf as a group when these old people told us that it goes after exclusively single people? I'm not sending one person after this wolf.
That's my thought. We know where it's been. We can track it to where it might be, or at least close to where it might be. And then my thought is we can set a trap for it, wherein all of us go up a rope trick and wait. I can duplicate it. We can wait for up to 2 hours doing that. And one person can wait on the ground by themselves, luring the wolf out of its hiding into predator mode, and then the rest of us strike. Drop from the rope
Is
trick.
that enough?
I don't know.
Does it also, does knowing that you're not alone, is that enough to keep it off?
I'm not sure. Could also try to make some sort of a pit trap for it, using Nana's boots to disguise the terrain so that a place that it thinks is typically safe is not, and falls into it, and we capture it that way. I don't know. But I know what happens when we're aware of a danger that threatens a community and we turn our back on it without helping.
This is one that they know about, though. The other thing, no one knew about those.
Well,
They've lived with
Olave
this
knew. Donnell knew. Someone knew. We told someone. If we told these old people, is that enough that we told them about the threat? How many people do you have to tell? Do you have to tell everyone?
They already knew. The kid admitted that he was told this story and just went out there anyway. This isn't a problem that they just are unaware of.
I think that if this thing really is as powerful and as cunning and as persistent as the stories say, it's marked me. And it'll come, whether we want it or not.
Well,
and
then
we
we
can prepare accordingly.
We should prepare, and we should not prepare in town, in an inn, where it could come tonight, if it's marked to you.
But it's not
the
going
old
to come
folks
into
that-
the village if
Well,
the stories again are to be believed.
If the stories are to be believed, but it seems like you believe the stories, the aspects of the stories that you want to, that not you specifically, Nana, but us as a group, we believe the aspects of the story that we want to and ignore the ones that we think are inconvenient for us. A warm bed sounds marvelous. A hearth to tell stories around and to sing songs and to listen to Roshan play his lyre. It sounds like a good way to spend an evening. But if it draws this beast into the town because it's marked Nana, if that's what we estimate, then maybe that's not the best way we spend our evening. That's just my thought. I'm willing to be overruled by the rest of you here. I just have my concerns.
I don't think that if this is a normal wolf, it will come into the village. If this is, in fact, this storied, old soul eater, Gammelt Grått, he cannot consume those who are enfolded within a community.
But we know it's not a normal wolf because it's bigger than our horse.
It's old, that's for certain.
Nana, have you ever seen a wolf get that big?
No.
You've seen Gorbjorn's old ass.
I gotta stop you guys real quick. You've seen wolves in that size range. It is around the size of a dire wolf.
Okay.
So I just want to clarify so you guys
Okay.
don't think there is just this, like, that's humongous. That's a huge wolf. But I don't want y'all thinking that it is like this is another step up in size.
This is not like the Dark Souls wolf
Yeah,
puppy.
Sword in
critter
the
with the
mouth, ready
sword.
to just wreck your shit. Like,
No.
but I mean, he's big.
He big, he like
But
dire
in-
wolf size, but
Around dire wolf size, yeah.
okay.
Right.
So I just wanted that just clarified.
Okay.
It's certainly not your average wolf. Probably a dire wolf, unless it's this soul eater thing. Or at
Oh.
the very least, either way, it's that size.
It also doesn't have a pack.
Not that we've seen.
Well, another thing to be aware of. Wolves live in packs typically, and if it eats souls, maybe it ate the souls of its pack.
Perhaps. Who knows? But I think that, in my mind, We will do no harm to this town if we stay one night within. When
Right.
we leave, I think that we had best be prepared, and it may not be a bad idea, perhaps our first night out from this town, to try and set a snare for this thing in anticipation of it coming after me if it has marked me. And if we prepare for nothing, we lose a night of sleep. And if we prepare and he comes, then perhaps we can rid this community of a scourge.
All right. I'll defer to you.
Well, I'm certainly not running roughshod over the rest of you. What do you all think?
I'd rather not go back out into the wilderness tonight.
I'm exhausted.
Held stands up from the table. You hungry? And like points to like a little family across the room and like fully exits from this conversation and goes
makes
and
sense.
starts bring people bowls. And, like goes
That's a
up
good
to All In and is like, do you have something I could pour more? Yeah. And Keld starts feeding people in the inn.
I think that we could take some nourishment that is not food from this place for a night. And that'll bolster us for the wilderness ahead.
I understand. How many days march do we have till we're back to Noansik?
It's a long way to Temporary. It's a long way to Rome. Where the fuck are my notes? 5 days. Brookcourse. You know, of course, just to make my life hard. Usually I write the interesting info, the important info at the top, you know, where it belongs in the notes. But you're probably looking at 4 days, 4 to 5
Okay.
days again, at 4 days, 4 days. Writing that down at the top. There you go. I'll
good
never
idea.
forget.
Yeah.
Bowls are then placed in front of each of you as Keld walks by.
Thank you, Keld. This smells wonderful.
People continue to kind of make their way into the place, lured either by an evening's drink or the smell of cooking food. Maybe the information got around that the inn is a little more interesting tonight in the food department, unclear. But the place begins to fill up pretty quickly. Different kind of classes of people, working people, people that you can tell either are more inclined to be fishing or more inclined to be hunting compared to people who probably work in shops or with repairs in town. But the place begins to fill quite quickly, and Keld is swamped in trying to cook enough for everybody, but seems happy to be doing so. Seems content in this labor. As each new person goes in, you hungry? Okay, find a seat or a corner or like lean on a wall. I'll be there in a minute. And Keld continues to cook. Different people come in. You can see a few people have more of I don't want to say a rugged look to them. This is a hunter. But you can see that there are travelers, people with families, people who are alone. People start up small chat with multiple people, including you guys. Somebody will come by and just like kind of like smack the table and be like, have a good evening. And just kind of be on their way, just the extent of people in this place. And as the door opens and closes and people come in and come out, one of the chairs at your table is pulled backwards, the one Keld was at. And a man sits down, a black hair kind of makes it back into a ponytail, and he leans forward. You guys have a story to tell? And that is where we're going to stop for today. Thank you all so much for being here. We love telling you guys a story, especially a story of crying wolf in there, actually being a wolf. No
knew?
lies here, except about kissing girls and doing drugs in the woods. That's the only thing we
Yeah.
might lie about, but that's our secret. Here at
We
the Dice
ain't
Cult, you can
snitches.
head over to youtube.com/the Dice Cult and catch up on all of our past shows, all of On the Backs of Gods one-shots. If you're in the mood for something spooky, we just did a horror one-shot called Family Time. If you're interested, I'll do a trigger warning for blood, because that's only polite of me.
It was a horror one shot.
You know, you should just, I don't want to say you should assume, but you should emotionally prepare when you're going to a horror one-shot.
Oh, it goes places, guys.
If you'd like to keep up with us, we are at Backs of Gods on Instagram and Twitter. If you want to keep up with us as a whole, we are at The Dice Cult on Instagram and Twitter. If you'd like to know when shows are going live, you can follow these, keep up with us, see art, get a look at what these characters look like. You get to see Keld right now up on the screen with his soup. But, you know, if you're interested in seeing the whole team, you can head over to Instagram. Thank you again for being here. We love telling a story, and we'll see you guys same time, same place, Mondays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and we will see you guys next time. Good night, everybody.
Thanks for joining us, cultists.